definitely very clever design from the script.
It's scary. He's going to make her into his family. He's going to corrupt her.
Protege.
Yeah, protege. Yeah, absolutely.
He's so happy to have
a new toy.
I am the king. Eve.
Ah! Jesus! Kaz! It's me! It's me. Kaz. Shh. Come on.
Yeah, this is the scene we were talking about earlier, that the studio wanted them to sleep together here. This is actually how he satisfied the studio, I think, is she's taking his pants off, so you think they're going to have sex, but it doesn't happen.
Take this filthy shit off, put this on, and get out of here.
No, I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, really? What do you expect me after all this time, just to jump on you? Is that what you expect?
Now, what we were satisfied with is that she kisses him and he feels himself drawn.
Who wouldn't be drawn to Gina Gershon?
And he has a moment of weakness, but that's all. And that's where the conflict comes, of course.
And then the whole second act of this movie is less about the action, more about being indoctrinated into the other world.
My eyes don't deceive. I think this fellow's beginning to enjoy being you.
Good.
Okay, look, Sasha. What I meant is that I'm not going anywhere until your brother helps me first.
Kaz, if the FBI finds out that you were here, I'll lose my son. Please, Kaz, you just gotta go.
One of the things John was talking earlier about casting Gina is, she's very beautiful, but she also can be very tough, and as she proves in this scene, very maternal.
Yeah.
This is the scene where Sean Archer's character gets some empathy for the bad guy in his life, and that he had a life, and as it turns out, a child that he doesn't even know about.
In the script originally, when he sees the boy, he gets a lot more agitated and angry in the script.
Like he wants to strangle him.
Like he might hurt him. And then, actually, obviously what was shot in the movie is
gentler.
His memory is more warm.
It's a nice looking kid, too.
John and Nick look so much different, So how to make the audience believe, they're the same person, even after the face changing. So that's why I came up with the idea, maybe they have some kind of a little gesture, what they usually do, like Sean Archer, he usually puts his hand, on his son's face, just let it cross like that. And then he also puts his hand on his wife and his daughter, and that's like call it the love touch, that kind of thing. So when Sean Archer became Castor Troy, so when he sees the little boy, and I mean, it reminds him his son, his own son. So he's doing the same gesture, putting his hand on the little boy's face, And then we intercut into John Travolta. He also had to put his hand on his own son's face. I mean, that make the audience feel they are the same person, So, and that kind of gestures look pretty warm and pretty touching, in the movie, So
it really became a touchstone for the film. Again, one of the things that was great about having John do this is that he understood that you needed these silent moments that linked the two people. That inside he was this other person, and when you did that dissolve into from Nick Cage and Travolta, you are telling the audience that remember they're the same guy.
Yeah.
Inside. And
so I do remember when the movie was premiered in Japan, Tokyo, after the movie finished, and I saw some of the young people and they're putting their hand on each other's face, touching each other. Okay. like I said, it was a very tough location to shoot, and we also have a very tough schedule. You gotta, work very, very long hours. Everybody's so tired. While I'm making a movie, I'm very involved. I usually strongly related to a certain character or very involved with the emotion. So while we were making this huge action sequence and we ran out of time, and the line producer kept reminding me, John, we're over in budget, we have to cut down, some of the actions moment, So first, I try to make it fast. And then the second thing is that while I'm, shooting all those scenes, the good guy killing the bad guy, and the bad guy, die, and the bad guy shooting back, And all of a sudden, it made me thinking of what's happening in the real world now. In the real world, the people are still shooting each other and killing each other, and, especially in the Middle East. A lot of people got blown up, a lot of places still bombing, and a lot of people are still losing their family and lost their loved one. So it made me feel so angry. I'm the guy who never liked war, So all of a sudden, it gave me the idea. When I saw all those guys killing each other, I always believe everyone was born innocent. Just like this little boy in this scene. Yeah, he was so innocent, and he was just ruined by the violence, So that's why I came up with the idea. And after he put his on, and we play the music, all he can hear is the lovely song. It's Over the Rainbow. And the Over the Rainbow told his dream and his love and what he's hoping for. And then I put him into the action sequence. And then we did all the killing. All the guys got shot with 3 cameras, all did it in one shot. And then also one camera followed the kid. He crying and listening to music. It seems to be he had not involved with the outside world, So, and he's living in his dream, his beautiful dream. The first song in my mind was some lovely little kid songs.
It was Puff the Magic Dragon, right?
Yeah. And then in the cutting room, I was thinking of, one of my favorite songs when I was a child was Over the Rainbow. And there was the first musical film I saw. And I loved that movie, and I keep, the song always keeping in my mind. So I said, just like myself, when I was a child, I have so many dreams. I was so many dreams about a movie, I was grow up in a very bad neighborhood, where we were living with, a lot of gangsters, drug dealers, hookers, that kind of area. So I always feel I was living in hell. So I always, try to escape. I always, going into the theater. One is the theater, and the other thing is the church. The 2 places, and I have found my heaven. When I was in the theater, I love to watch a musical because the musical gave me a lot of hope and a lot of dream and a lot of love, So that's why I think the scene also bring back my, childhood memory. Originally, the scene was pretty long. The original idea was the kid, seeing all the violence. But the studio have a little problem with that. They didn't really want to have a child seeing all those kind of, violence. So they asked me to trim it down. And I took out a few moments. The little boy was looking around, and it just helped him crawling.
Yeah.
Yeah, crawling in the middle of fire. But they also so much concerned about the censorship, the thing. Well, anyway, the meaning is still there. And then I'm so glad I had that idea. And the scene become, one of the favorite moments in the movie. I'm so glad the audience also feel the same way.
Well, it is perfect. It's Over the Rainbow because you're right. In the middle of all this violence, it's like to dream of a better life.
So we shot that scene only one night.
Yeah.
We got them all.
Remember they wanted to get you to cut out the chair coming down over the railing.
Oh, yeah.
They were very demanding about that, and you just said, no way.
Hurry up.
We knew very early on in the first, initially in the draft, correct me if I'm wrong, Michael, they flee from the loft to a mirror factory downtown.
That is correct.
We felt it was very important that there be a mirror sequence in a movie in which two people have swapped faces. And so it got reduced to being part of the loft. It's sort of like the grandest dressing room of all time, where you can really see yourself full length. Anyway, they wanted to cut this mirror scene because we were running over, but it ended up being in the trailer.
This is also, one of my ideas, the two guys in different side of the mirror, it seems to be they're looking at each other and shooting at each other. I mean, they're shooting at himself. Mm-hmm. So at the beginning, one of the producers, they have a problem with the scene because we really ran out of time and out of budget, So I talked to the studio. Okay, I'm willing to pay my own money to shoot the scene. I mean, just give me 2 days. I think that's a very important moment. I gotta shoot it. I gotta have it. And that made my agent, my lawyer, very panic. Say, John, you shouldn't say that. You shouldn't say that. They really need you to pay for it. I said, I don't mind. I didn't care about my money. I just feel this is a great scene, a great moment, a necessary moment. We need the good and evil, and that was the real moment. They can see each other and seeing themselves. And trying to destroy each other, and the mirror reflection told so much a great story. So at last, the studio, they accept my request. It means they let me to shoot it and also want me to pay it. But after we finished the whole film, and the studio loved the scene and loved the movie so much, and they forgot all about it. They did, and then it made my lawyer just a little more relaxed and happy. Oh, John, it was great. It was a fun part of making a movie.
Well, you made us very happy.
Another unforgettable moment was all the actors. Yeah, was so great. We worked together so well. It seems to be we have known each other for a long time, and we became a very good friend. And also worked so well with my crew. We just like a big family. In a big family. One day I talked to my script supervisor. So I told her how much I admire Clint Eastwood. He was one of my idols. It's my hero, I love his movie, I love his film, I love his character, it's really that. I was a big fan of Clint Eastwood. So at one night, after I set up the shot, it was a big wide shot. There were 3 cameras. I see Nick Cage and Nicolas ready coming to the door. And then after I set up the camera, and then when I just action, all of a sudden we see the 2 Nicks holding a Dirty Harry poster coming into the shop. And that night was my birthday. And I was so moved, and I was shocked, at that time. And then they're holding the poster. The poster was signed by Clint Eastwood.
Wow.
And then to John Woo, great admiration. It's so humble, And I said, Clint Eastwood, I was so happy. I said, I feel the friendship. I feel the friendship, and I feel the true love from everybody. So I was so grateful, and then I took the poster, and all of a sudden I was lost, and I didn't know I was making a movie. So they were it was a really, really touching moment, I did once for Nick, and he did it back to me.